sense, but maybe protect her from her own demons and guide her emotionally. There's different layers of what that masculine leadership from the core looks like. And it's different to what we'll find if we just, Google it and think about, okay, what does a, rugged man do? There's more depth to it. There's more nuance. And that's what the high value women are looking for. Because they can do it all, right?
Yeah.
They need like the deeper masculine.
I love that you're saying this, because I think that is the frustration. I've been working with men for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the frustration of men, is like, they don't know what women want, because society has told them all along, like, women just want this. And now women are going, we don't want that. We don't want the thing that society has conditioned you to supply to us. We don't want that. And so you have men who are so pissed off and frustrated because they're like, I don't know what the hell women want. But it's instead of like going back and forth, you're proposing a different solution, which is going to your core, which, the way I'm understanding it, and correct me if I'm wrong or help me understand more, is that is actually the compass that will help govern what you need to do for your woman, essentially. So am I correct on that?
Yeah, I know. I love that. I love the compass analogy. Like, spot on. We all have it. Like, women, we have our own feminine leadership. We have our own internal compass. Men have their own internal compass. And again, when we talk about masculinity, femininity, we both sexes have both, right? Like, we're both an integral, balanced being, but there will be that kernel, there will be that fundamental essence, which is where you lean in terms of your gender identity. And that's the kernel you need to get to. It's deep. It's really deep. And to get to that, there has to be some integration of the two. There has to be emotional health, and there has to be a deeper awareness. It's stuff that you can't just Google and, read an article and be like, okay, yeah, I know what women want. No, it's a practice. And that's why I'm so passionate about work.
So, Katerina, all along, I've been teaching men to come back to themselves, to trust themselves, to get to know themselves. It sounds like I've been doing the right thing all along.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Step away from the rule book. And I think, I get so many clients are like, I'm so overwhelmed by so much advice. And it's like, you have the answers inside. Listen to the advice that brings you back to yourself. And so what would be like, if we were to leave the guys with like, because we're going to continue on with this conversation. We're just getting started with this conversation. If there was one thing that you could leave guys with, because some of the guys watching this are like, this is the first time I've heard of coming back to my core and using my internal compass to navigate what a woman wants. What would be a practical thing they could do to come back to their core or their compass?
Yeah, and that's a great question and a great point. And I think one thing that I hear with my clients is like, oh, this feels really hard. There's so much to learn, and like, where do I start? And the reality is, yeah, there is a lot to learn, but there also isn't, right? Like, really, we can probably distill it down into 3 fundamental steps, which all involve coming home to yourself and connecting to yourself. And then just a little bit of emotional and relational learning, and perhaps some re-education of like, gender dynamics, but it's really not that hard. It's more in the practice. And it's like a yoga that you have to kind of keep building that muscle. And that can all be learned, and it can happen faster than you think. And if there was going to be a starting point, to me, it really is, let's say you're connecting with your partner or you're going on a date, rather than being all up in the head and up in the energy of the head and like thinking like, hey, what do I say? And what does she want? And blah, 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 blah. And, I literally was talking to a client today who was like, I spent the whole morning thinking about like, how can I orchestrate this date to be perfect for her? And in the end, it wasn't what she wanted. So rather than being up in our head, can you drop that energy down into your lower body, keep your energy in your lower body where it's so much more grounded and rooted and calm and centered, calm your nervous system down. And in that space of calm, can you actually connect with her heart from afar and just ask, like, what is it that she really needs right now? And then give that, right? And it might look very different to what the head is thinking. that's where the magic happens. Like what we think is often not what we actually need.
Yeah, yeah. It's one thing that I see so much with so many guys is that head that tells them you need to perform, perform, perform.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, a woman, our core is we want to feel safe. And sometimes it's the performance that actually makes us feel unsafe. You know, I remember being with a gentleman and he did all the right things. He coordinated the day, took me to a nice place, did all that. But the whole time on the date, he wasn't present. He talked over me. He didn't really get to know my heart. And so essentially, I didn't feel safe. And it was like, I don't want to be here. But on the outside, he did all the right things. But I left feeling exhausted. I felt drained. I didn't feel excited. I didn't feel enthusiastic after leaving the date. I just felt like, well, that was really exhausting because none of it came from the heart. None of it came from the core. It was all, I know what to do in the head. And it left my nervous system not feeling very safe.
Yeah, completely. Because you didn't feel seen, you didn't feel heard. And the truth is, you weren't, right? What was being seen was like a vision of, well, here is what women want to or expect. And there was a disconnect from the present moment reality and their projection. And again, we all do it. And so the practice here is, how do you stop doing it? And how do you learn what to do and build that muscle?
Right.
And then everything's a lot easier.
That is really, really powerful. I love, and I know that we're just getting started on this. So guys, listen, we are going to be doing this live event starting January 17th. So here's the deal. Because we know that this is such a beautiful topic, we know that you guys don't want to stay single for another year and just pissing away money on the wrong women. You actually want that healthy woman in your life. We are offering an early bird price of $2,400 for a 6-week coaching journey with both of us. But that is only until December 15th. So you've got a couple weeks to make that happen. I'll be sharing the link with you. After that, the price will go up to $3,100. So you definitely want to join on that. Katerina, thank you so much. And I'm so excited to bring you back in to continue and build upon this conversation.
Yeah, me too. And thank you for thinking of this. And to add as well, it's 2 calls a week, right? We're doing. Yes, 2 calls a week. So it's not just one. First call will be a bit of tutorial and learning, and then the second will be Q&A.
Yeah.
Which game changer for bringing all of your challenges and issues and everything to the table.
Yes, because you and I believe in, like, it's not enough to just provide people an education. It's like, that's just the beginning. We want to have that live Q&A to make sure that our guys are really integrating this into their life, that it's something that they can apply and that they really have a heart knowledge of when they leave our program, not just more head information.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, we will be back doing another one of these videos. So make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you like this video. And I'm really curious, you guys, did Katerina provide you some clarity when it comes to polarity? Is this something very different than what you're accustomed to hearing? And if so, let me know in the comment section. I want to hear your feedback about what we discussed today. Guys, you have what it takes. You're loved, and we will see you in the next video. You guys take care.